Hey everyone, the Grumpy Scotsman here to do another watch review. And what we have today is a really special timepiece. This is the Seiko SARB035. Been discontinued for quite a while now. And a little back history on this piece is I purchased this in 2010, 2011, maybe even earlier. I can't recollect, but it was quite a while ago. And so I purchased it with the intent of using it as my gentleman's piece, kind of just to dress up and such, just special occasions. And what ended up happening is I realized that it was just a little small for me. So I ended up gifting it to a dear friend, and I gave it to her, and she wears it quite often. I don't know how often, but I see her wearing it quite a bit. So it gets a lot of use, this watch, and I'm glad, rather than selling it, that I gave it to a close friend so they could use it and appreciate it, rather than me never seeing this thing again. When I first bought it, I thought that maybe I could wear a smaller timepiece, even if it was just for an evening or just a rare occasion. But it ended up that I never even wore it that long. Like I said, maybe a week. But yeah, so I'm doing this review first, not just because it's a legendary timepiece, but because I want to get this watch back to its owner in a timely fashion. And no pun intended. So without further ado, let's get started on this. We have all the dimensions here. So it is 38 mils across in diameter. It is 11.5 millimeters thick, so very wearable and thin. Nice dimensions on this case, scalloped, has all sorts of angles, polished and brushed. This watch has been quite worn, so as you can see, it exhibits a lot of wear. Excuse all the animal hair here. You know, I don't know what's up with my cat, but he seems to shed a full wig a day, and as hard as I try, there is just no getting rid of all of his hair. On the other side, you got the classic signed crown, the S, and the scalloped lugs on there with a machining in there. So you have brushing on top and then polished, the polished belly of it. For the bracelet, you have push pins, which is perfectly fine because honestly, they probably hold a little bit better than the screw down, which they do, if you don't put Loctite on them, they do have a tendency to unscrew. So it's never bothered me to have these push pins in here. And you have a signed buckle with push buttons on there. Just a fold over clasp, and you have not many, there's two little places that you can adjust the sizing on it, so not a whole lot of size adjustment on this. Here, let me get this so you can see. the exhibition case back on here. This is the NH36, I believe. So you have a power reserve of about 50 hours. And yeah, not a highly decorated movement, but you know what? This movement here is a workhorse, and you're not going to have many issues, if any at all, coming from this. Let's see if I can get in there. It's a Diashock. It's water resistant to 100 meters. That's all you're going to need on a timepiece like this. And the crown is just a push crown, a push and pull crown. It's not screw down at all. And so this watch is very special. It's actually, since it's been discontinued and Seiko's been increasingly raising its prices over the years, it's gone up in value. It's highly sought after. And like at the time, I think I purchased this for $500. I can't honestly remember. It was so long ago. And I got it from a online, Japanese online site. So yeah, I think it was around $500. But anyways, needless to say, this has gone up in value. Maybe not this one because it's not so minty anymore. It's been well used, but there's nothing wrong with it. But you're looking at getting into one of these now for close to $800 to $1,000 if you want a really good example with box and papers and minty. So not even to look at it as a money-making proposition, but it's always nice to see something that you had invested in increase in value. So very nice to see that. The dial on here is antique white, just an off-white and antique white. The indices are applied, and the logo, the Seiko logo, is applied. It's a very minimalist dial. I typically don't like it when brands write the word automatic in there. It's like, you know, we get it. It's automatic. I spent X number of dollars on this. I know that it's an automatic. And with the exhibition case back, I can see as such. I don't need to be told on the dial. But with this particular one, and the way that they wrote this for a couple years with a slanted written automatic on there, it's classy. It's very doable. It's nice. Doesn't bother me at all on this one. And the minimalist look of this dial, it just works so well. You can dress this up and you can dress it down. You can wear jeans or slacks or whatever, and it's going to go well. So they did such a good job. And the black dialed version of this model looks pretty amazing too. And however, I believe if memory serves right, I believe that the dial on the black version is matte, not gloss. And I remember that's why I ended up going with this one. But it does really good. So here's the little tag it comes with. And you can see on here the 45,000 yen on here. At that time, or at this current time, is $409 Canadian. So if you could only get these for $410, that would be incredible. What else can I say about this? that hasn't already been said. But yeah, you can see that this is a well-worn example of the SARB035. Let's go through it. So just a little bit about my journey, being as how I'm going to be doing more watch reviews. Years and years ago, I actually had my own watch channel, like way back when YouTube didn't have a whole lot of representation for watch enthusiasts, and you only had a handful of people. Actually, well before Urban Gentry even came out. So I was doing watch reviews, and then life happened, and I ended up shutting down the channel because I just couldn't maintain it anymore, and I couldn't respond to people. I just didn't have the time, and so regrettably, I ended up completely closing it down and deleting everything. And I had so many watch reviews. It was doing really well for itself. In retrospect, I really regret it looking back on it now, because that was my watch collection for those years of my life that you'll never get that back, right? Unless you buy them again. But it's kind of neat to have these, because it categorizes your journey, your experience of watches coming in and going out, and the fun of and thrill of buying a new piece, and then spending that initial time with those watches, and just hearing your thoughts. So to all my friends and everybody out there, never get rid of your videos. If anything, I should have just made them private and then revisited them years later. But here we are again, and so this is going to be fun. I'm going to enjoy it, and we're going to do a bunch of and as I go along again and get my head back into it, I'm sure it'll be better, and that my commentary will follow, just get a little more comfortable as we go along. But yeah, so here's the SARB035, a little bit about my journey, and cheers, everybody.